G'day guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild Reaches. This is a bit of a different one. I'm in a caravan park in Normanton, which is in the Gulf Carpentaria in far north Queensland, Australia. And this episode, I thought I'm going to drive through Normanton, which is a bit of a community. It's a community, but it's also a hub for a lot of the cattle stations in this area. Quite close to anyway, I won't do too much about Normanton. What we're going to do is go and pick up Jordan's Pop. And I don't know if you guys have seen him yet in any episodes, you might have heard his voice, but Pop is a very interesting man, a very well respected man, and he knows a lot about his culture, and he cares deeply for Aboriginal culture, and I want him to try and share some of that with you guys and with me. He's been sharing a lot with me over the last, couple of weeks that I've been around this area, out on his country. Pop is a Kurtaja man, so where you've seen us out on Kurtaja country, we've had his permission to be in there. Now he's going to take us today. I'm going to go and pick him up and pick Jordan up, and he's going to take us up into a sacred area outside of town here where he grew up, where the Aboriginal clan, the Kurtaja clan, lived for a long time, for I don't know how long. I sort of questioned it last night, if it was just, like the last, say, 150 years or so where white fellas have been around this area, or whether it goes beyond that and that area is sacred, for hundreds to thousands of years where they've always been there, because it's right on the river. And he said it was before white fellas. So he's going to take us up there today. I'll ask him a few questions, have a bit of a chat, and hopefully I can share give you guys a bit of an insight into this community and the culture that goes much deeper than this community. So this area we're coming into now is meant to be, this is where I came last night. I can't tell you guys too much about last night, but this is a sacred area coming through the gate right now. Now I'm not sure if I can film in here, so I'm not sure whether you guys are going to actually get to see this. I'm hoping Pop's up in here somewhere, and when I see him I'll ask him. Actually he's calling me right now. Alright, Pop's on his way up. Now coming through here last night, he told me it was pitch black, so I'm pretty sure it was this section here is the old children's cemetery in there. Baby cemetery, I think he called it. So I'll ask Pop when I see him, but I think they obviously had different areas for burial sites for different age. The other thing you can see here are all these cotton trees, kapok trees. They're everywhere. And you guys have seen me use these, the kapok tree quite a bit. You eat the flowers. Pop was telling me last night that you can chew on the saplings, so you dig them up and you can chew them, and they're full of water. So if you're ever out in the bush and you're low on water, that could save your life. This is them here. That's a kapok tree, or as Pop calls them, cotton trees, because they're called cotton trees because they have a seed pod. There's none on them right now, must not be the right time of year, but there's a seed pod that when it dries out, you crack it open. It's like a big brown seed pod about this big, about 70 mil long. It's not round, it's more like an oval shape. When you crack them open, they're full of, it's like cotton wool. Like honestly, it's just like the cotton wool you buy at the shop, and it takes a flame really well. It's a brilliant tree, it's very useful. Alright, we're coming into an area now that I know is sacred. I'm going to turn the camera off. I don't want to upset the old people, and I'll wait for Pop to get here and I'll have a chat with him.
Go up here, turn around me.
So that's the river right there. See, I didn't realise last night that we were so close.
Yeah, that's why I say we walk close to the river. Yeah, this way. We come here last night.
So this here is Pop. This is Jordan's Pop. Plenty bar in there?
Yeah, plenty here. But just with a big old crocodile run. That's why I wanted to put the drone in, you might see him.
This is his stretch of river.
Yeah.
What's that?
I have to lie down in this little trench here.
You used to lie down in there?
Yeah, when it wasn't all that thing then. We started from our big brother used to take us.
Yeah?
And we told them older guys used to take us around and we used to run around them hard.
Hiding them. Hey Pop, tell us about these.
Huh?
Tell us about these.
A cotton tree.
Cotton tree.
Well, yeah, I don't know, he got not much use, but I reckon you can make a canoe out of it.
Yeah? Good trunk for it.
Like, yeah.
And then the little ones,
The little one there now, you can get the root out of it.
you chew on the root,
Chew on the root.
full of moisture.
Get moist, yeah. Just drink the water. Keep you out of trouble till you find water.
So that's the river.
It's water here, but yeah, I got a big crocodile.
Yeah. No protection at the edge there.
Could be anywhere waking up that big brother. See over here?
Yeah.
Low tide when I was a kid, when we were a kid. My grandmother would see one foot sticking out of the mud. Somebody wouldn't get killed or died. White man.
A foot sticking out of the mud.
Crocodile must have took him.
Wow.
Show me with evidence they found that foot.
You wouldn't even know, he could be right here, hey?
Yeah, it could be right here. Doesn't look like him down there, see? See that shiny thing?
Yeah.
Look like he's there.
Oh.
They pure black, this bother.
Yeah.
Big, eh?
Big black one.
See this rod here? This is the one here we use for spear rod, look.
Ah.
That's what we make spear out of this one. Straight one. See, they're good
Yeah, that's a nice straight one.
and deadly. I'm always looking for a spear rod. I got our spear home. I'll put that prong on
Yeah?
so I can use it for when I go fishing for turtles. Go down on the road.
Do you want that one?
Turtle.
I've got a machete in the car, we'll knock that off.
No, he too. He dead.
Yeah, it's too dry.
Yeah, we get them green ones. There's a fish jumping over there. That bloody, yeah, we used to play around here as kids. Hey, Dave,
What about the old people? They try and keep you away from the edge?
yeah, well, we didn't
Or the elders?
care about them crocodiles them days.
No, when you're young.
No,
But I bet
they
the...
was around, but we used to swim in the river.
Did you?
Yeah, we used to swim in the, down with the bridge.
Do you think it's because they were so hunted that there weren't as many here?
Yeah, there was 100. We used to come up the bridge after the 74 flood.
Wow.
74 flood. Hey, Daniel. I think he'd come out here.
You reckon he'd lay here, eh?
He didn't come out, there's a creek just around here, but over there, that's another good barra spot there.
Yeah.
That's the creek where he killed that big albino one. It wasn't in the newspaper.
This big croc killed an albino
This
croc.
big croc now.
So he'd be old enough that he was here when you were a kid.
He would have been here when we was kids, yeah. He's pretty big.
Wow. Big black croc.
Yeah, he's a big fella. Big black one.
There you go, guys. That's the seed pod I was talking about. That's why it's called a cotton tree, yeah? Because inside there,
Hey?
it's got this cotton.
What are they?
Well, that's from the cotton tree, hey?
Nah.
No?
No,
It looks like it.
cotton. Oh, that one, yeah, there was a cotton tree. Sorry?
It's coming up out of
Yeah,
somewhere else.
yeah. Right here, they're coming up to this rock there.
There you go. So you use that to start a fire. So many different things.
Yeah, you can make fire with that.
It's great, isn't it?
Yep.
So lots of ochre through here. Red and yellow and white.
Red, yellow, and white ochre.
Why is there no, cave paintings, no rock paintings around here? It's just not something...
We don't have any. Like, the only rock we got is this.
Yeah.
But had him believe there should be.
Yeah?
I heard there was supposed to be. But I haven't seen it since I've worked there. But,
So You used to hide in all this?
Yeah, we could play around and hide from them big fellas chasing us around.
And Pop, you worked on stations
Yeah,
your whole life?
on life. When I left school at 14, 15, 14 got under 15, I would go at Delta. White man on it.
Yeah.
We only got him back 83.
83 you got it back?
Yeah. And got him. Oh, both sides of the river, this side, that side. It's all like them. Top west. Done a lot of radio. Done worked on the pipeline out here, century.
Wow.
Carpentry. Any job I could find, I just take on, you know.
Yeah.
Never bother bailing up from work when I was young and fit. Enjoyed it.
So before 83 you said the white fellas owned these cattle stations, but your ancestors,
Delta, yeah.
you know, you guys worked on it for, your parents worked on it for years and years.
Yeah, my parents worked there. My mum grew up there and worked there, you know, for the bread and beef, you know.
And now your family's out there running it?
No, well, he was there for the last 10 years.
Oh yeah.
Now, I think.
Yeah, okay. So these salt pans, what do you call it? Bora?
Over there, where that, just over across this hill, behind this hill,
Okay.
that's where my dance ground.
The dance ground. Sorry guys, this GoPro overheats constantly. I've said this about the GoPro 10s and they just shut off. It's such a pain in the ass. So I'm sorry that dropped out then. What we were talking about here in this area is there's a sacred site on the other side of that mound called a Bora Ground. Now, a Bora Ground is, from what I understand, is it's a sacred area where they do men's business. So there'd be initiations on the young lads when they came to age. There'd be dancing ceremonies for all sorts of things, and I can't get into, same as last night, I can't get into it. I'm sorry. I can't really share everything that I experience up here because a lot of it is sacred and I've been welcomed in and a lot is shared with me, but there are certain things that I'm not allowed to film and I'm not allowed to talk about, unfortunately. Maybe one day we'll get there, but which is a shame because it really goes much deeper into the Aboriginal culture, which is just amazing. So yeah, these grounds over here, Pop was a big part of. He's had a lot of experience over in that area, and yeah, I wish I could share more with you guys, but as he said, he grew up in this area. There was a camp just on the other side of the hill over there past my Land Cruiser where they all lived. And I said, where? What was it? What were you sleeping in? And he said it was just like a big tin shack. So yeah, so that's how they lived for so long. And this area here was his backyard, that big river, the sacred area over here, the burial grounds up on the other side of the hill over there behind us. This area just means so much to these people, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And it is hard to film with some elders like Pop. Well, he's a young elder, but like Pop, because you know, you put a camera in anyone's face and they don't really like it. But I want to be able to share these stories with you guys so that you feel like you're part of this adventure and that you're learning when I'm learning, because it's so interesting. So Pop was saying, yeah, there's a big 6-metre crocodile that lives in this river. I'm not sure if I can send the drone up here because there's an airport somewhere nearby. So I'll have to get the maps out and work out where the airport is and if the phone's even going to fly. But I'd love to fly the drone down the river and look for this croc, so I might do that. What Pop was saying about either side of the river. So this river, the Norman River, can you hear the brolgers in the background? Oh, look at them, way up there. They're kites, and then they're brolgers way up the top. Wow! I know this sounds silly, but this is what I mean about you can just feel this country, how dense it is and how spiritual it is. Like being in a place like this that is so sacred and so, yeah, so sacred to the Aboriginal people. The brolga means a lot to me. I love brolgers. And then to be here like this, to be welcomed into this area, and they're just everywhere. They're over the back there as well. This is what I mean about you can feel it. It's really dense. So the Norman River on the south side is Kuthan country, which is Jordan's grandmother's country. On the north side of the river is the Kurtija, and then it goes on towards Kawanyama and other clans up that way. So that's what Pop was saying about the two sides of the river. This was Curtija country here. This is where they were based, but he worked on both sides of the river in the stations. So back in the old days, so that we're talking like 1860 to you know, now really, but in 1860 this area was really starting to be cattle stations were moving in. So it was changed. All the country here was taken over by pastoralists, and cattle came in, and lives for the Aboriginals changed forever. Now at first they call it wild time, where for about 20 years Aboriginal people really fought back, and it wasn't just fighting back, but there were new beasts on their land and they were hunting them, you know, being cattle. And if an Indigenous fella speared a cow, they'd be hunted down and shot. And then it was war, because you've killed someone. So then they'd come in and try and spear whoever shot their clan member, and then it was just an all-out war. So that went on for 20 years. Some horrible things that I don't want to get into, but well, I won't get into. I actually wouldn't mind telling some of these stories at some stage, but after that 20 years, the Aboriginals really started to, it was more the white fellas started to realise that the Aboriginals know so much about this country that they're trying to work on, and that they're so good with their hands, they're so good with animals, that they brought in the Aboriginals to work on these stations, and their families. So if there was a man like Pop, who was actually, you know, if there was a man like Pop's granddad, he would have come in and worked on the station as a stockman, and his family would have come in and camped on the outskirts of the station, and, you know, would be supplied with flour and sugar and basics like that. Now that went on for years and years and years, and then in 1983, it's different in all around Australia, but in 1983 a lot of these cattle stations in this area were taken back by the Aboriginals in the, you know, a big land rights court case, and they were given their land back. So a lot of these stations now are run by Aboriginal families whose ancestors used to work on them, you know, 150 years ago, and then whose ancestors used to live on that land before it was a cattle station for thousands of years. So it's really interesting stuff, and Pop's a big part of that. His you know, his ancestors have been here in this area and worked these stations and lived in this land before we were even here. So I wanted to bring you guys up here today and share this all with you, because it really excites me. It really intrigues me, and I want to get deeper into it. And I have so much respect for Aboriginal people and their culture, and I want to share that with everyone around the world, because I don't feel like we see it enough, and we have so much to learn from them about this land that we're all living on. And, you know, like I've said before, there's food all around us. There's so many different things that would be useful to our everyday life. So hope you enjoyed that. That's just a quick episode, I know. I might send the drone up if possible, like I said. But yeah, that's a short episode. That's a wrap. Hope you all enjoyed it. Shout out to Pop for coming up here and saying g'day. I hope you do get to see this. I'm sure Jordan will show you. Seriously, GoPro, I just paid $650 for this camera, and more for the new batteries and the different charger and all that, and you can't film for longer than that. Was like 12 minutes and it cut out and said it's too hot halfway through my bloody outro. So where was I? That's a wrap for another episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Jordo for having us again on country, Kuthan and Curtija country. Jordan's family, his land, his country goes a lot further north than here as well. So I'm sure we're going to see Jordan again. Actually, Jordan's come with me to Kawanyama. We're going to Kawanyama this afternoon, so that'll be the next episode. We're catching up with some old friends up there, and there's a few spots that I want to fish, which is going to be fun, and just more I want to learn about the land and what we can eat off that land. So yeah, Jordan's come with us then, but then I'm sure Jordan's going to be in future episodes, because there's a lot more of this country I want to see, and he's so much fun to have around. Jordan, you're a legend, mate. When times get tough, he turns on and he pushes hard, which is great. And yeah, thank you to Pop. I hope you get to see this. Thank you so much for coming out and filming with me, telling a couple of stories. I'm sure once you see this, you're going to enjoy it, and then you're going to want to come out and tell me more stories, because that's what seems to happen. You're a legend, mate. You're good on camera. comment below, guys. Tell Pop how much you enjoyed having him on the show, and hopefully we can get him out in country again and tell some more stories. And thank you for making me feel so welcome, particularly Pop, for making me, you know, as a white fella coming in and, you know, wanting to learn about your culture, and you're just so open and accepting to me and trusting. And I can't share all that with you guys, like I said, but thank you, Pop, for just opening up, mate. Means the world to me. Yeah, that's a wrap, guys. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Make sure you're there next week, because we're going to be up Kawanyama, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing. If you want your merch, wildreaches.com/shop. This one here is the palm cockatoo shirt, I'm pretty sure. Love this design. The palm cockatoo is only found up here in Cape York in a tiny little stretch up near the Wenlock River. Beautiful bird, my favourite bird, so I wanted to put it on a shirt for all of you guys. Wild and free, which is how I feel when I'm up here. But there's plenty of other stuff on there too, so jump on, check it out. I feel a little bit uncomfortable being in this area here without Pop or Jordan, so I'm going to get in the cruiser and get out of here, and I will see you all next week in the next episode. You're on.
Hey, I'm jumping this classy.
Watch out for the
There,
cars.
boys. Good. It's the clutch, I know.
Say hi to everyone on
Hi, everybody.
YouTube. What's your names?
Jason, PJ, and Takias. Just kicking back with the wide reaches. Look. Right. Let's go fishing. We only just going there, bro. I go fishing now. The river. Look, my little PJ. He just get a lure off the wild reaches. My papa. He just cast the line. I might get a little bit of barrel, you know. Might get some bit of barrels. I missed you at the Magnificent River, way back up there. At the car crossing? Yeah, right. This is Jason. Yeah, the boys. Ooh, I missed him there, bro. Oh, he just missed a barrel there. Oh, shit. Oh, some sort of thing. Try catch the crayfish pot there, bro. We are on YouTube. We're gonna be on YouTube, you know. As you can see, look, I got him. As you can see, I got this crab pot. And don't pull the GoPro. Ah, bruh. None in our pot. As you can see, I just threw it back in.
Catch anything yet?
Nah, it just caught a hit. Not caught a hit, it just got a hit. And that's this crazy spot.
Oh, there's a pot there.
Yeah, crib pot. You can back down the rib bar. Yeah, that boys. Show us your lure there, bro. Oh, it's just a little squeegee. And one another squeegee. And it's a popper. This is a little soft popper. And this my prawn.
You told everyone your names?
Yes. Yes.
And why are you not at school today? Or is school finished for the day?
What's your name?
My name's Nathan.
Nathan. What's your name?
I'm Jordan.
Jordan.
What's your favourite fish to catch?
What's your my favorite fish to catch is a barra.
Barra?
What's yours?
Mine's barramundi.
What's yours? What's your favorite fish to
Gotta
catch?
be Barra.
PJ, tell everyone about the crocodile in here.
That boy got a really big crocodile in here. This young man, he laughing here. You're not supposed to be laughing about it. What you got to say, bro?
Serious business.
Oh, he just kicking back down at the river, trying to catch some barra. I ain't gonna.
That's still on, it's still on.
Yeah, what you catching some barra? Trying to catch some barra. What about you, young fella?
No?
What about you?
For what?
What you doing at the river?
Going to catch some barras, hopefully.
The young fella down over there trying to catch some. Young fella there, Jason, trying to catch some barra.
Snags, working the
You
snags.
put that key on YouTube, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Get my lure out. Come on, Joe, get my popper now. That's got 2 hooks, Joe. Come on, Joe. You? Ah, Joe, you can't swear when you want to get on YouTube, eh?
No, no swearing on that.
Get it said, oh, f***ing hell, eh? Oh, you would just